Welcome back to another episode of Thinking Out Loud podcast. I'm your host Dustin Cowan with my cousin Justin Gonzalez. What's up, cuz? How you been?
I've been fantastic. Been a long week, challenging week, but we're good.
Yeah, man.
Um, I'm in training for the U.S. Open. I didn't tell you that, but I'm in training for the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Go ahead. That's what I like to hear.
That's a positive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a positive. Yeah, that's very positive.
So I got the local coming up next month. I took my first lesson of the year yesterday, last night. Shout out to Joe Orsino from Golf Tech. Amazing instruction. So yeah, I'm gearing up for that, and we'll see what happens.
Man, just go out there
Trying
and
to
have fun, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to put any expectations on myself this year. Last time I did, I choked.
Yeah,
I was out
man.
there like, oh my God, you know.
No, just go out there
How
and
you doing?
man, I'm not gonna front. Uber prices are up, so that's a good thing. Making more money. Making more money. Got another skid steer gig next week. Got the punch list for the contract on the house. That's coming up next week. Um, Looking in the foreclosure market out here. That's coming up in 2 months. And yeah, things are looking up. Things are looking up.
Weeze is making moves out his.
Yeah, we got to make moves. We got to make moves. Because you can't stay stagnant, right? Like, you can't just sit still. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think if you've been working that same 9 to 5 in the same position, not becoming a supervisor or a manager at your same company, like, I mean, just kill over and die. Like, I mean, you've accomplished
Real.
the slavery that this country has wanted you to be in the whole time. You just,
I refuse to sit still and swallow the pill.
there you go. There you
I don't
go.
want it.
So, man, I see you got a new haircut. I see you got the old Dak Prescott, and I got the new Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Dak came out. They said Dak came out with a
New
new
look.
goatee and a bald head. They said that's the money look. I said, man, that's my look for a long time. I ain't got none of that money. I need some money. I need to go see what Dak doing with his baldy and the goatee. Yo, man, Dak got this new look. I like his new look. I'm not gonna front. I see what he's saying. He looks a little buffer. You know, bald head makes you look a little buffer. A little buff. Like in the suit, he looked a little buffer.
You already know what I'm going to say.
Go ahead. What you gonna say, man?
I need a new look Dak Prescott in the pocket
Okay.
throwing the football.
Okay. All right. That's right. You are a local Dallas fan.
I am.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Like that's what we're going on 30 years. That's too long. That's too long, man. That's too long. But yeah, man. So we got a lot of great topics for you guys today. So first thing I think I wanted to bring up the state of Florida. I don't know what's going on. I think Floridians, y'all have a lot to attest for. Charlemagne always said the craziest people come from Florida and in the Bronx. But sure enough, Florida is Floridan right now. So let's start off with the University of Florida. So
Okay.
the University of Florida has dropped their DEI programming for the school. DEI stands for, I think I just read, I think what was it? Diversity, equality, and inclusion. Yes, I said it right. And DEI encompasses people of different ages, races, ethnicities, abilities, disabilities, gender, religions, culture, and sexual orientation. Somebody said when I got the story, somebody said it's basically, um, oh man, I forget what came before DI. I just lost it. It was right there on the tip of my tongue. Affirmative action. So basically, like this is like the son of affirmative action hires. What they were trying to say.
Okay.
Um, and originally I thought about that point, and the person who made that point was Stephen A. But after talking to my wife, I have a different take about it. So the University of Florida would be a learning institution, right? So that could be learning business, could be learning science, math, whatever, right? A lot of that learning comes with grants, which my wife happens to be a grant
Right.
administrator, where she either oversees the funds, distributes the funds, or makes sure the funds go in the right direction. Well, when you oversee and you make sure it goes the right direction or you distribute funds, you have to read the fine print. And a lot of grants, believe it or not, now she comes from Canada, so it's a Canadian background, but even some of the grants she's worked on here have DEI in them. So If you don't
Mm.
have diversity, equality, and inclusion in your programming, some of these grants you might not be able to get. And so I'm wondering if the University of Florida has shot themselves in the foot. And I'll give you some more statistics, but like, how do you feel about that?
So the question is, why did they drop? What's the reasoning?
I didn't quite get that. I was looking through trying to find it. I didn't quite get why they dropped it. The bigger story, I think, was that the governor Sanchez was like, I hope they cancel all DEI programs all around the United States of America to drop it. The problem with that statement is that DEI usually doesn't affect the minority. It only affects the minority. I said it wrong.
No, it doesn't affect
The
the
majority,
majority.
the majority. It only affects the minority. Yes, there we go. I said it wrong. I knew I said it wrong after it came out.
So it's a complex answer I'm going to give you. So I'll put it. There was recently an interview I saw with what's her name? Candace Owens. Is that her
Yes.
name?
Yeah,
She's very
Candace Owens.
controversial.
Very controversial.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially for black folks, right?
Yes.
She's almost like the female Uncle Tom, as they put it.
Yes.
But she did make a point, and she was talking. It was her, and it was like a board of like professors or whatever, and she was talking about something similar to this, how like taking black folks who aren't necessarily qualified and putting them in certain schools just because they're black, but they didn't qualify as far as the academic part,
Right.
and putting them in that environment was only making things worse for them, because you're putting them in an environment where it's a whole bunch of white people. They're not used to that. Then they got these standards they got to be up to, so they're gonna flunk out anyway. So it was almost like taking up space versus like maybe the student that did qualify, right? So it's one of those things where maybe it needs to be revamped, reworked in a way,
I
instead of the C student in Yale just because he's black, you know?
I agree with you 100%. So like I would agree with Candace Owens' point in that point 100%. I think if you take somebody out of their environment, you put them in a new environment that they know nothing about and have no compass, no direction to go in, you're looking for a failure. And that's not always the case. I would say some of those people do survive, but and this is I can't remember who said it. It was a defensive end at Western Carolina who told me this. And we were walking out of study hall one day. And he looked at me dead in the face. He said, "Listen, ain't no thugs in college." And what he was trying to say is that people who don't belong in college, they ain't gonna be here long. Like if you in college, you in college. Like you belong, you supposed to be here.
Correct.
Ain't no thugs in college. So like to Candace Owens' point, you put those people in those situations, they're not gonna survive 100%. Um, Dissolving this program. If this program was if they were saying if they would say the production or the workload, or they were saying that that the work ability was not being met, I totally understand it. But let me give you a few facts real quick because I wrote down some facts for you,
Okay,
and
it's a fact. Good
so
fact.
this might help you a little bit more. And so like I don't think it necessarily hurts. I think it hurts the school more, and I think it hurts the communities of what it should affect. So again, those people that were of a different gender, different ability, different disability, sexual orientation, religion, race, all that. I think it hurts that community more than it hurts in the university more than it hurts anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So here's some facts about it. So like there were 13 full-time jobs from it. It was 15 administrative jobs. It had a chief, and it had outside vendors affected by this grant. So, in other words, so the people who were vendoring there, so like let's say food, let's say office supplies, let's say cleaning, and let's say landscape, right? Those people no longer have jobs. Those contracts are probably gone, right? Okay. You had 15 people that were doing their job on top of that job. So those 15 people now are losing that money that they were like doing extra for, and might probably work for the university, but they were they got a little bit more to work DEI. Now, if those people weren't doing anything in DEI and it was causing a drag on it, maybe cut those 15. But then there's 13 full time jobs plus a chief. So the chief of
Mm.
DEI is gone, and the 13 full time jobs are gone. Now, I did a little bit more research and digging. The average salary at the University of Florida, this is just the average, so this is everybody, is $61,893. That's not a bad salary.
In Florida,
In
not
Florida,
at
that's
all.
not a bad salary. I mean, and another thing
Except
people don't
Florida too.
realize is people think Florida is Florida everywhere. Wrong. This is Gainesville, Florida. I've ran at this. I've ran at this
Okay.
track. I've ran at this university. This is the University of Florida. These are the Gators.
Mhm.
Gainesville. There's nothing in an hour all anywhere around Gainesville besides the alligator. It's just really
Yeah.
it's really desolate, Florida. Honestly, like the University of Florida is that town. So you're talking about those roughly about 29 people plus vendors affected. Now, I did so the money that went back to the university was $5 million, which I thought was interesting because it's like $5 million. Okay, if I divide that amongst the 29, I came up with $172,413. Now that's a lot of money for one individual if the average salary is only 61. So now you're a little bit more than triple, almost triple the average salary. So clearly that wasn't where all the money was going. Clearly it was keeping the lights on in those buildings. It was clearly facilitating those buildings and everything else. So it's definitely money dispersed different ways, but the community that you did affect, like people could have purchased houses off that, people could have got car loans off that, people could have gotten debt, people could have gotten spending different things, and now they just don't have a job at all. And like the thing is the time of when you cut the program. So like when you talk about schools or universities, usually you have end of term. So like for instance, if you're gonna get fired, you're gonna get fired in December because that's the end of the half, right?
Mhm.
You get fired in May because that's when school's over, right? Summertime, school is out for that time. But to cut
Mhm.
them in March is kind of odd. And so that's kind of like where like it kind of sparked my interest because like they ended March 1st. Now, I'm pretty sure these people knew this was coming, but at the same time, you just out of a job in the middle of the school year. This is not the hiring time for those type of jobs. It's not like these are probably professors and student teachers and people that are working on grant research and different stuff like that or like what do they call them like ah professors that have like students that work for them that teach for them. These people are probably getting cut from jobs, and it's just interesting that that's the take in March. So
A lot going on in
yeah, there's a
March.
lot going on in March, which
They don't want.
kind of leads me to my next point. So the next point in schooling would be spring break.
Yeah. Right.
So
Right now. Yeah. Right now, spring break. Right,
so
or close to.
so I know we haven't met since like last week, but apparently over the weekend Miami broke up with spring break. I don't. You watched the commercial.
Yeah. Watch.
You saw what saw what I was talking about.
Very
So
interesting.
Miami. This is the next. Going on the next topic. Miami is implementing curfews, harsher parking, pars,
$100
harsher
parking.
valet parking, and harsher fines and
Yup. UI checkpoints
yeah
everywhere.
DUI checkpoints, and so probably harsher jail time for coming to Miami during spring break.
Hmm.
My dad was very. I told my dad the story. He was very mad. He's like, "That's not right." He said, "That's that's what did he say?" He said, "That's he said something. Uh, he said that's not civil. You're not allowing people to move through the country like you
That's
want to."
communism.
Yeah, yeah, that's basically it. And you seem to have kind of like you kind of like the idea of Miami shutting down spring break. What was your take on it?
I just think kids with alcohol, no responsibility, all conjured up in one area, time and time. Like you just gotta think about the people there. Like you live Myrtle Beach, right? Like
Yeah,
think about Black Biker Week.
yeah.
It gets crazy.
It does, and I guess
But
like in Miami, it's probably like all the time, right? Because Miami, Florida. Now, this is one thing I will say about Florida. Florida does not have bad weather, really. They have a rainy season and they have rain, but if you've been to Florida once, you give it about 2 hours an hour, that rain gonna cut up and you're gonna be right back outside, and it's like nothing
exactly.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, the curfew thing, yeah, maybe they do it for a little while. It's probably not gonna be permanent because all those businesses gonna like I'm sure a lot of them stay afloat because of spring break, especially the bars and stuff.
yeah.
So they're gonna hurt. So it's gonna be a catch 22. It's like, man, all these bars are popping versus now they're not gonna use popping as much. They want to raise prices, DUI checkpoints.
Would
Every solution has a counter, a counter to it.
I
So
had all these pictures already ready for this stuff, and I ain't played not one picture. There goes my Miami one. It's all good. It's all good. So, okay.
how do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's
Well,
fair?
my next question was this going to deter you from going to Miami if you were going to be a spring breaker? Like, would you stop going to Miami for spring break if that was your destination? So, if you're University of Florida, like we just talked about, are you not going to Miami for spring break now? Like, maybe that's home. Maybe you got a deal on a condo. Maybe you know how to get around the parking. Are you still taking your chances out there? You out of state? Are you still going? Like, does this
Mm,
commercial stop you from going to spring break?
I'll say probably not. No, but I'm not the rowdy one. You know what I mean? That's
Right,
not me. If anything,
right,
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna bring the party back to where I'm at. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Yeah, I'm not out there to spend a whole bunch of money. I'm like, I'm trying to find some people and be like, yo, I got this dope spot. Let's go and keep it private and keep it
Low key.
low key.
Yeah, like 10 at most. Like after 10
The
people, y'all got to
most.
get out. Like everybody
Yeah,
out of this place because like this ain't handling this much. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
And there's not a lot of testosterone either. It's gonna be me and a few.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
If I was in spring break, you know what I mean?
Right,
That's how I would do it. I definitely wouldn't be at Flamingos and Ocean Boulevard and
right,
where all the crazy stuff is. Someone don't like me, they may recognize me, be like, "Oh, he looks like my cousin," and you get hit. Like I don't want
right,
to.
right. I think too much of something is a bad thing. Like I think too many people in one place is a bad thing, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe like Miami has been so free for so long, it's just been too many people in one area to where it's like to where it's oversaturated. And I think honestly that's what happened in Myrtle Beach when we were there, right? It's like they got rid of the black bike week when we were there, got rid of white bike week, and so basically they discouraged black bikers to come down because I mean you talking about back to back people, you talking about back to back a million plus people in a city that doesn't hold a million plus people. So like like where are those people going, where are they staying, what they doing? Excuse me. You don't have the manpower, you don't have the police power to deal with this stuff, and you can only control traffic for so long. You just can't control. I've been in all those at Best Buy and seeing the retail go crazy, where like they just spending money on cameras and laptops and buying sound systems because speakers blow out, and it's a wild time. So I can understand where Miami's coming from. I just don't think this prevents anything. I think you're just going to make a lot more tax revenue. But I guess they're broadcasting, hey, we're finna make a lot more tax revenue. You act crazy down here. We're going to get it from you. It is what it is.
Mm.
So, like, I think that's interesting. And
I do believe there's a chance that like maybe it migrates to somewhere else, like somewhere, you know what I mean? It could be an opportunity now to maybe go somewhere else in Florida instead of Miami. You know what I mean? Maybe they go to Tampa instead. Maybe they go to the Panhandle. You know what I mean?
and that's what I told my dad. I was telling, he's like, yeah, well, that's not fair. And it's like, it is fair though because you have a lot more options to go. Like if I was a sound person and like I've got all my stuff ready to go to Miami for this spring break out of college or whatever, I might go, well, they just pushed out this warning. Let's go somewhere else. Where else is going to get lit? Virginia Beach is lit. Myrtle Beach can be lit. People coming to Charleston right now. There's Folly Beach here. It's so many other beaches that can get turned up. Like if you want to do a beach or go to the mountains. Like I mean, spring is not necessarily the best mountain time, but maybe change it up.
Switch.
Lakes, like maybe lakes start turning popping. Like like people go to lakes and might get a pontoon boat. 60 teenagers on one pontoon boat and wonder why people drown. But it could just open up a different thing versus like Miami. I think the thing with Miami is it's such a long beach. Like you know what I mean? Like it has such a long public area that it
Mm.
kind of fit everybody. Like you look at like Myrtle Beach and I look at Miami, and Miami's got to be probably double, maybe triple what Myrtle Beach is.
Oh, absolutely.
Venice Beach is probably equal to Miami, I would say. Venice Beach and it's not necessarily that it's as long. It's just it's so much area of beach. Like Venice Beach is crazy. It's like two football fields before you even get to the water of beach, and you're
Yeah.
like of sand, should I say? It's not even beach. It's just I guess that's beach. I don't know what you'd call that. And so and same with Miami. Miami's like in certain parts it's like a bigger area of beach and like they got that park that's right there. And so, maybe those are areas where people feel like, hey, I can get a spot at least. I can set up, have a beach day all day. And so maybe that's probably what it is. But,
I almost went to school in Miami, bro. I almost did.
should have went, man.
My mother talked me out of it.
You'd have 8 children right by now.
Yeah, my mom talked me out of it. She was like, "You don't want to go there. You're just gonna flunk out." And I was like,
You should have.
maybe.
You should have went. You should have went. You should have went.
Yeah, I quit anyway,
You should have
right?
went and flunked out. Like, I'm not gonna front. Like I went Miami. Shoot. I didn't have an offer to Miami. Like I had my offer at Western, and I really didn't look at other schools. I was thinking about going to Coastal, but didn't get an offer from Coastal. I got an offer from um, Anderson College. So this is a crazy story. So my parents are like, "Yeah, let's go visit Anderson College." I'm not going to Anderson College.
I don't even sound like
I'm
appealing.
not
Like,
going to Anderson College. Like
where'd
nothing
you go?
about nothing
You're,
about nothing about Anderson College says Dustin Cowan at
I
the
went.
top, right? So I get down to Anderson College, and the neighbor that had a super big crush on, I think her name was Andrea, and she's like, "Oh my God, Dustin, what are you doing down here?" Right? She like walks up to me and she's like, "Oh, it's such a great place to go. You'll love it here." Da 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 da. I said, "All right, yeah, that's what's up." Like, she's looking good. I was like, "Okay, cool, right?" I was like, "Okay, I know somebody down here. That'd be cool." So I walk around the campus for a little bit. We go to the dorms. All the doorways are open. Like all the doors are open. All of them. I said, "Yo, why are the doors open?" "Oh, no, no, no. We don't have any closed doors between these hours during the school." I said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, and there's no females ever to become on male dorms."
Next.
I was done. I was done. Like, I'm not going to Anderson College. I can't close my door. I can't close my door at my house now. My dad won't let me close my door. I'm not going to college to not close my door. Like, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Like we don't have to talk about nothing else, coach. We don't have to talk about nothing else. Now, here's the number two kicker. "Oh, you do have to take a chaplain class, and we have chaplain every Wednesday. You have to go to it was a private school. I'm not going to chaplain. I'm not going to church if I don't want to in college. Like I've been forced to do this my whole life. I'm not doing it when I go
Yeah.
to college. I'm out. Like I'm going to public school. I'm going to public school so I can get public and do what I need to do in these dorm rooms, right?" So I get I get my offer to Western, and Western, you know what? You can close the door. By the way, my first dorm room, co-ed. I take a shower, girl walks in right behind me. What is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, wild out there, right? It's wild. So, like, nah, bro, I'm not going to Anderson
Some country
College.
bumpkins out there.
Man, they weren't country bumpkins. It just was a Christian school. Like, I think it might have been Catholic. I don't even know. Anderson College, private school. I wasn't going to private school. No.
What was Western like? I didn't get the chance to see you out there in Western.
Lit. I should have stayed at Western, be honest with you. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Coastal. Coastal was a good fit for me. It worked out. I was able to actually graduate from Coastal. I probably could have graduated from Western and ran track if I'd have really knew what I know now, I wasn't my brain my freshman year was not in school at all. Like I was having a great time. I was running track, but I got hurt, and so then that wasn't fun. And then it wasn't a good fit for me. It was too cold to run right there. I switched to indoor. I didn't like that. I was an outdoor track runner. And I was being fickle. Maybe it was me. But Western was lit. So they had the white fraternities. They had a couple black fraternities on campus, but the white fraternities had the houses. So
Mm,
you might pull up. They got a party going. My first house, I got drunk off some moonshine, was peeing off the side of a mountain, overlooking the football field, wilding out. You know,
wow.
yeah, it was a great time. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep it PG. It was a great time, and that was how Western was done, man. Just get lit on the weekend, freeze up at the mountains, go home.
That's one thing I didn't get a chance to do really in life. I didn't get to the whole dorm room college thing, like I probably should have, but it's okay.
I'll be honest with you, the dorm rooms is an apartment complex now. Like I'm not gonna front. I'm glad they got rid of the dorm rooms. Dorm rooms are gross. Like every dorm room I've ever been to was absolutely disgusting. Like I didn't even stay at the dorms at Coastal. I went to
You had that like townhome,
yeah, townhome over there, right? So like we stayed.
amusement park. Yeah,
Yeah, and so it was
going
straight.
down.
Yeah, it was straight. It had the only thing it didn't have was a pool. Yeah, it didn't have a pool because they didn't want any college kids to drown, which was smart. But it was lit over there. I moved a couple times in there. I had a good time in there. You had your own bathroom, but you had to share a shower, which that wasn't that bad. I didn't mind that so much. but I needed my own. I need my own room. Like I grew up with my own room, so like I needed my own room. Like I couldn't that sharing shit. That wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. I couldn't do that.
You had another place in Myrtle Beach. It was a house, right?
Yeah, we had that house. Me and Mike and my track guys. We all had that house. Tim and
Tim and
yeah, give me Ray. Ray was over there. Me, Mike,
Ray,
Tim, Ray, and D. D was out there too.
D.
Yeah, D was out there, and we was out there in the house. I had to get out of that because that just wasn't working either. Like four guys in a house is never a good idea, especially at that age, because somebody's nasty at some point. Like I'm not gonna front. Like I mean, I probably didn't like doing dishes, but like I would do my dishes, and sometimes I wouldn't, and didn't realize like why doing dishes was so important. But like you feel like you out the house, you want to do what you want to do, and like it just wasn't always a great fit.
Like I get a girlfriend. Hey, your job.
Yeah,
You dish.
I agree with that. Yeah, sometimes that works.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes that works. But then after I got my own spot where you stayed, like that was straight. That worked out. Then I started doing dishes
Yeah.
because it was my stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was mine. That makes more sense. So I
It's
don't know.
probably how to cook though. There.
Yeah, because you
I had
could.
no choice, y'all. I had
Yeah,
no choice.
yeah. I wasn't cooking for you. Fix your own food. You grown. Like I ate before I came. Like I knew I didn't want to do dishes, so I ate.
I was working at Soul Serenas. Remember that?
Yeah, you used to come home smell like straight taco.
Straight taco.
Straight.
I never forget. He was like, I was like, yo, man. I was like, yo, you better take me to work today, right? He was like, nah, I gotta go do this. What do you mean? You gotta walk. I had to walk like 2.5 miles in that heat, yo.
Yeah, wow.
That was crazy.
Well,
That is learning. I had to go through that though. I had to go through that.
I mean,
Thank you.
like
Thank you.
it was one of those things. Like I kind of had a clue as to
Life.
why you were coming down. Like I knew we would have a bunch of fun. Like that wasn't. I was never trying
Okay.
not to have fun, but like at the same time, it's like I can't carry you.
No.
You got to carry. You got to do your own thing, right?
Yeah, bro. You come on. This second week here. What's up?
Right. Like get a job. Like
He said, yo, he was like, yo, how did you burn the bacon? How'd you burn the whole pack? You didn't watch it? I was like, I wanted to make sure it was cooked all the way.
something wrong with you, man.
I cooked that bacon for like a half an hour in the stove. Oh,
Yo, no bacon takes that long to cook. The grease cooks itself. You know what I'm saying? You keep it low after the grease gets hot. It's cooking itself.
It's black. I was like, I had to make sure.
That was good times, though. That was good times.
Great
If
time.
I could have kept that, you know how much that property's worth?
Probably too much.
Yo, last time I checked on that property, I think it was worth like somewhere in like the 172, right? That might have been 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago when I
Did
looked.
you own that? Did you own that?
Yeah, I owned it. You know how much I paid for that property?
How much?
52,000. I should have kept that property, dog. That was no money. That was no money back then. I don't know why I couldn't. I should have kept that
You
property.
could have Airbnb that bad.
I could have. I could have rented it out. I could have done anything. I should have kept that property, but I got behind on the HOA fees. The homeowners fees was crazy. So like my mortgage was like $400. No. Maybe like six or something. Like no. Maybe like 400. Maybe something stupid. I should have kept it. And then the HOA was like two something though. It was wild, but thinking about it now, it still was worth it. Like, where can you live for $600? Two bedroom, two bath, deck in the back, deck in the front, washer dryer, in the pool. Oh man, come on! I was wilding out. That's the thing. I was too like it. I just didn't know what I knew. I didn't know what I know now. Like I could have easily turned it over to an investment agency or a renting agency. They could have rented it out, painted it, put somebody in there, could have kept it, even made money off of it, ended up foreclosing on it, and then like it just didn't work out. And just mom, I think at the time my dad went to Afghanistan and my mom was not doing well, and my dad told me to come up there and take care of my mom, so I did, but lost the condo, bro. I probably could have kept it, but I just didn't think it all the way through. I just didn't know all my options, so
It happens in life, bro.
yeah, I learned from that one. That was wild. That was a wild time. That was good times. So man, yo, we gotta talk about. I hate to keep bringing him up, man, but
Who?
your boy Shannon Sharp, man. Like I got a picture, man. Like let me see. Yeah, your boy.
Hey Shay.
Yeah, your boy Unc. Your boy
Shay Shay.
Shay, and everybody. My thing is this. I don't think the walk. I don't think the walk's the problem. I don't think it's
Oh,
even the
what is it?
mannerisms. I personally, this is, and I got a picture up of him, but he's wearing the form-fitting sweatpants suits, and I know that's in, but that's not good look on people his size. Like Shannon Sharp's over. I think he's like 6'5" or something like 6'3", 6'4", something like that. He's a big guy. He's six.
He's a big dude.
He's 250 easily, right? So like my problem with the form fit
Easily.
is the form fit works for guys like you, lean, under 6 feet tall. I ain't put all your business out there. Looks good on you. You look good in a form fitting sweatsuit. He's got too much legs for this.
I
I got
lost
too
your
much
sound,
legs for
bro.
that. You
You
lost
hear
my
me?
sound? Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know what happened.
You good?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? What about now? Everything good? No?
Hold on. Yeah, I don't hear you, bro.
No? Let
Hold
me see. Let me see. Which one's it? Which?
on. Technical difficulties. You paused it?
You know?
Hold on. Um. Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Why is it not working?
You can't hear me, but I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Let me see what happened.
The freak? What happened?
I'm good. Well, I might have to
Should I
switch.
close it and reopen it?
No, no, no. Hold on. I'll switch. I'll take off the mic.
Hmm. Hold on. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna re-invite you. Hold on a second.
What about that?
Yeah, now you are. I don't know what happened.
See, all right. Sorry about technical difficulties. We
You
back.
talking about Shannon, man?
Yeah.
I gotta see this walk, but I'm listening. Are
Yes.
we back? We're live, right? We're
Yeah,
on.
we're back live. Yeah, and it's not recording. So
Okay.
like, yeah. So Shannon comes out the car. He's got a green form-fitted sweatpants suit. He's got an orange. I'm gonna go handbag. I'm gonna just be nice to say handbag. People are calling it a purse, but it's a bag. Like if
I
he,
mean, there's a lot of dudes rocking that though. I mean,
it's
my
a lot
cousin.
of people wearing the bag. I'm not going there with that. It's the bag, right? And so he comes out. He kind of stumbles out the car, and I want to start there. We don't know how long Shannon been riding that car. Shannon's 55, going on 56 years old. I think he's 55. Sorry. You get stiff in a car just riding. So you first step out. Your first step, and you don't know you're on camera. You might have to get it together, right? And so he steps out. He stumbles a little bit. Then he does kind of one of these motions, and people are like, "That's it right there." When you do like that, they saying like that looked a little. And my thing is this: if anybody that was critiquing Shannon Sharp had the same size biceps as Shannon Sharp, you can say what you can say. But otherwise, if you don't, please be quiet. That man is huge. Him flicking his arms like that, I think he was trying to point to Total Wine and kind of point to the crowd and just didn't kind of, he kind of got caught in the middle. But he might have been riding for a long time. Then his walk, they're saying like he looked pigeon toed and all this knock knee, whatever not. Shannon Sharp has hip replacements, knee surgeries. Also, he's a 55-year-old ex-football player.
Yeah,
He's
at
got
tight end
he's
position.
got more miles on his body than all of y'all talking about. Like, and the reason I know that because I used to run track and I got more miles than most people talking about. Like, I ran 3 miles daily from third grade pretty much on till high school. Like, I know for a fact, plus track practice, basketball practice, all this other stuff. Like, I'm still running 3 miles before. So like, I know the mileage on his body playing in the NFL is a different mileage, not to mention the hits, the injuries, and just different stuff. And then like so the man is homosexual because he walks a certain way and he's having a form fitted outfit on. Like that's the style. Like I told you, like if we had the same access that Shannon Sharp has to different things, you would try different things. And I think this is just one of those things that people are just trying him again because he is the hot topic. And I'm not gonna front. I'm always gonna defend Shannon Sharp because I like what he
He
does.
Shannon was gay at all.
I don't
I,
think Shannon Sharp is gay at all. And I think if you had hip surgery, knee replacement surgery, and was sitting in a car for an hour or so, you might get out and walk a little funny too. I think people just don't have any grace for him. And I think the funny and the interesting thing is that Shannon has grace for all of y'all. Like they had him looking like Freddie Monster on first take because the girl had his makeup wrong, right? Or they had he's got the stocking cap and the black and mile on. He's walking out the form fit with the bag. And you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna get on his podcast, talk about it, not care, laugh at himself, and keep moving. Like you guys can't knock him off the mountaintop that he's on because he is like. So here's the thing: you want to laugh at him and make a little viral video, but look at his bank account. He's at Total Wine putting his Shea by Laportier in the store, in a public store. It's sold out on his website most times. Now it's in the store. It's probably sold out in that store. I don't know if y'all saw that line, but it was like when Popeye was giving chicken sandwiches out. And his stuff ain't cheap. It's $100 a bottle.
Let me ask you this: how much of this internet slander towards his sexuality, I guess we'll call it, do you think is real, or do you think it's like the Matrix, like starting to mess with him?
I think when you're on top, it's easy to shoot up. It's easy to shoot up. You know, it's easy because it doesn't matter if it falls back on you because you're already on the bottom. What do you got to lose from shooting up? Versus him shooting down could take him off the top. So what's the
Mm.
point of him shooting down because he's already on top? Versus I shoot up. If it falls back on me, I'm already here. Cool. I can either move out the way because I see it coming, or hey, I'm already on the bottom. Whatever. I don't have anywhere else to go.
He hasn't made a response though, right?
He gonna talk about it tomorrow. Tonight's Thursday night. Nightcap will be on them. Nightcap will be on at 10 o'clock Eastern time or
He's
West.
going to talk about. He's going to address it.
100%. Ocho gonna fry him up. I promise you. Ocho gonna laugh at him, or he gonna come to his defense, and it doesn't matter. Like that's the thing, because you know what's gonna happen. What you guys don't realize is that stupid walk and that stupid memes and the TikToks that went viral. All you did was make Nightcap go from 15,000 viewers tonight. It's gonna be 30,000 in there because y'all gonna wait for him to talk about it. Y'all making him more famous, so he wins.
Good press, bad press.
All good press.
All good press. No press.
Yeah. And maybe, and I don't think, and the thing is, the funny thing about Shannon is that all these events, like the makeup one, the black and mild one was clearly fabricated. Goat James with the goat hat, that was fabricated. He does that. That's the character, right? But like when he gets caught like this, like the makeup and the tight green sweatpants and stuff like that, this is all natural, right? Like it's so he's not even thinking about this. He puts a little video out. Hey guys, we had my last stop at Total Wines, New Jersey. I'm releasing Shea by Laportier. I'm out here talking to y'all, and then walks off. And they show him walking. Maybe Jordan or Ash had the camera on him too long, whatever not. But whatever. It doesn't matter if it goes up, it goes up. You know what those people did?
Yeah.
Made him more money. And what are you guys doing? Making him more money. So laugh all you want to. He's just laughing to the bank with a check. Like, you know what I'm saying? You think you don't get you think he's not getting paid from his impressions and copies and shared videos of him walking crazy? Like that video is like I think like some million views. And then people have made another million views making fun of it. I mean, meanwhile, let's talk about what he's got on. He got probably about a $15,000 to $5,000 bag on. He's probably got about $1,000 sweatsuit pants on. They say the shoes are about $2,000 because it's some specialty shoe. Might have been more than that. Not to mention he's going to go drop off his product at Total Wine. He just jumped out the back of a Suburban that he didn't drive. Somebody drove him. Somebody else filmed him getting out of it because he ain't filmed himself, and he's going to go make some more money. All this looks rich to me. So he got a little funny walk. Good for him. Good for him.
It could be like the orange bag, maybe. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a lot of people with that bag. From what I understand, that bag is very popular. I think the orange kind of makes that's kind of a darker outfit, and it kind of draws attention to the outfit because the outfit really didn't have much going on with it.
huh.
You know,
I don't see much in this. I'm looking at it. I'm like,
people are making it more of it what it is. It's just this Shannon Sharp right now. That's really all it is, man.
yeah,
Who cares?
leave Shay alone, man.
Yeah, leave Shay alone. I'm gonna come to his defense every time. I promise you, I'm gonna defend him every time.
His business.
Yeah, mine doing his thing.
He's providing a platform for celebrities who've been silenced to tell the truth.
Yeah. Recently, he provided a platform for your boy Steven Stout.
Yes.
And so Steven Stout, for those who don't know, was a executive at Interscope. He left the music industry to go into the advertisement industry for selling, for lack of better words, widgets. Let's go widgets. He's probably big known for his brand deals between hip hop and stuff that we take for granted, like for instance, Jadakiss Reebok commercial with Allen Iverson, Pusha T's Ba Da Ba 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 and McDonald's. I'm trying to think one of the other. Oh, the tackle commercial of Reebok.com at the Super Bowl. He's done quite a bit of feats. He's a reason we know who Nas is. He got not Steven Stout signed Nas. That's probably his opening. That's where he start. That's his start. Shannon Sharp in the interview goes to Queensbridge, which is interesting. And I found out a little bit more about the boroughs. So Queensbridge, I didn't realize was supposedly the middle class of the boroughs, and so I didn't realize that. I didn't know that Queens was kind of middle class. That's interesting to me. And
You
so
probably don't even understand how big Queens is.
I
Like the
haven't-
boroughs are huge.
I've been. You know who used to live in Queens? I think Aunt Tati used to live in Queens.
Nazi, everybody lived up there.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Brooklyn too.
I didn't know that. So that's it's not the side I know about that. I've been there. I just didn't know. So in the interview, he talks about he brings up Dame Dash, and I posed a question for you: would you rather have a boss like Steve Stout or like a boss like Dame Dash? Like you've probably seen more Dame Dash interviews, so I kind of want to hit on that one a little bit more.
Yeah, Dame Dash is a little brash. I would say he's very wears the emotions on his sleeves. Very New Yorker, typical New York, Harlem, New York. You have to be
Harlem.
yeah, you got to say he's a
Harlem.
typical Harlem New Yorker. Yeah, very aggressive, master hustler.
Right.
Doesn't understand the word no. Gonna break through any barrier that's gonna hold him back. Right.
Yeah.
So that's Dame Dash. I'm assuming Steven Stout's from Queens.
Steve Stout is from Queens.
Again, even listen to the just if you follow a lot of the Queens guys, just look, they're not as brash. You know what I mean? They're not as they're not gonna brag. It's just a different vibe. You know what I mean? It's less aggressive, maybe. Even Nas, yeah, he can talk that, but he's not like, look at me, man. That's never been his style.
That's a good point because like if you say Nas versus like, I'd say who would you say the biggest rapper out of Harlem is? I'm gonna say Cameron.
Really?
For me.
Hold on, I gotta get a list real quick. Harlem.
Who's his biggest?
I like him, but I actually like him a lot.
Who's the biggest rapper out of Queens? Got to be Nas, right?
Nas. There's 50 Cent. All right, here, out of Harlem, you got Big L, ASAP. You got the ASAP gang.
Okay.
Diddy.
Diddy's not really a rapper, but okay. I see. He might have more clout. Mace.
Cameron.
Mace is out there.
Mace. You can make an argument for a few people.
But who would you say musically probably has the most albums, been doing rap the longest? I have to go Cameron. Cameron dropped the album, I think, last year.
Immortal Techniques from there. Puff Daddy. Let me see. Hold on. Keep going. Joel Santana. Ace.
Hey, hey.
Curtis Blow.
Okay.
Mace. Cameron's number two, and number one is Big L. He's considered
I
the
don't consider
godfather
I
of
don't consider Big L the Godfather of the rap out of Queens. Big L, I just don't. I don't know, but I don't.
Harlem. Harlem. That's all Harlem.
I feel like Cameron's more of a household name than Big L is.
Yeah, he lived longer. Yeah, he
Right.
definitely. Yeah, but I would say skill wise, definitely hands down, it's Big L. Not even question.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
so if you were to compare Cameron to Nas, exactly what you said. Nas is less brash, less, he's more chill, relaxed with it. Cam is definitely more lavish, outgoing, full of he's a much more character, right? Like Nas has character, but Cam's gonna give you a show no matter what, right?
yeah. To me like Harlem's a little more, like they're just more flashy type of dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's just a different. But like again, if Harlem's on the island, it's on the upper like what is that West Side.
right,
It's just a different demographic of people. Queens is more like you got houses out there. You know what I'm saying? Not so much projects as much. It's more
right.
houses, more suburban. This is different. But yeah, Queens got like I'm just gonna name some people off the Nicki Minaj,
Nicki might be the biggest rapper.
Nicki. There's let me see, man. There's a lot of people in here. I'm just gonna point out some names.
50,
50
no,
Cent,
yeah,
50 Cent, Ja Rule.
yeah,
Um, Russell Simmons is from Queens.
yep. Queens
Man, there's
rules.
a lot of Irv Gotti, Nas. I mean, there's so many. Noriega. There's a lot of people, man. Capone,
Yeah,
Coogee Rap, LL Cool J,
yeah, okay.
Prodigy. There's a lot. And there's a lot of people missing off this list. Consequences from there.
This is kind of a history lesson for me.
You know what I'm saying? Jam Master Jay. Like, there's so many rappers from Queens. I'm not even getting. There's so many, man. So
But I would say outside of 50 and Nicki, none of those guys are really like vocal, like, cocky, conceited, will go at you. Like, and even 50, I'd say is like slide digs. And Nicki's usually after you come at her, she comes at you, right? But like, I would
correct.
say like Dame, I would say Cam, like some of the ones you listed on the Harlem list, I'd say they come after you before you come after them. Like, they're more of an attack versus Queens is more of a defend, is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Let me see. Top 10 all time Queens rappers. Cormega. 50 Cent's at number nine. So that shows you the pedigree of rappers out of Queens. And he has a diamond album, bro. Like one of the
Yeah,
few.
so like it depends on what you're looking at, right? So like if you're
Nicki
looking at
Minaj.
rap or if you're looking at accomplishments,
They got Nicki Minaj at eight. Run
that's
DMC at seven.
it's gonna be tough. I think
Q-Tip. Q-Tip. I forgot about Q-Tip. Q-Tip's from Queens.
yeah,
He's one of my favorite. For sure. It's a vibrant thing. Prodigy. Pharaoh Munch.
yeah, cause Mob Deep's from Queens.
Coogee Raps number three.
Okay,
LL Cool J number two. And then last but not least,
Nas,
number one.
yeah, not
That's,
not
that's
not Nas overall probably has. I would say he probably I don't know,
I
rap
don't think the
wise,
question. He's the best rapper out of Queens of all
yeah,
time.
Nas for sure, yeah. So like so in again posing my question like who would you rather work for, like this interview Steven Stout was saying like how he changed from music, went to selling merchandise and advertisement of merchandise and converting hip-hop and advertisement of different products and different merchandise together. And so like he said he wanted to give his people that work for him equity in the company so that they could become equally as successful as he is, right? um when the question of Dame got brought up, he said that Dame probably had a ceiling. People saw the ceiling of Dame and got away from Dame because people didn't want to work with Damon. And I could kind of see that from some of his antics and takes, right? Every time you bring up Jay-Z to Dame Dash, it gets going left, right? Like he will go after you bring up Jay-Z. If you bring up something that doesn't make sense to him, he will go and then like it goes negative, right? And it gets personal. It seems like he starts talking to you because you asked him a question about something that he didn't want to talk about versus saying I don't want to talk about that. And it's just like, you know you look at Dame now. Dame's probably like what 50, 60 years old almost, or like he's in the 50s, let's just say, and he still has that same type of mentality and attitude, but yet he hasn't progressed in business versus like you see a Steve Stout who's taking a back seat to where that brash and aggressiveness versus just doing business has taken him to another plateau. Like I say, Steve Stout's almost a billionaire, I would say. He's probably
Yeah,
very close to it.
that method doesn't allow you to have the ceiling because you're kind of like the shadow hand. Like no,
Right,
people know you, but they don't really know you, and you're kind of like, it's kind of like being a ghostwriter in a situation, right? Yeah, you can
right,
have the stage all day, but that stage, that time, that finite time you have to be our superstar is going to run out. But I can write songs for you on stage, the next person on that stage, the next person.
right. And
So it's just a different dynamic. I would say this: Dame Dash, I'm down some, if it's just me and Dane. Yeah, if I had like my last $1,000, like who would I pick? And it's like we're in the street and we just gotta make something happen. It might be Dame Dash in that situation.
right,
If I'm an established product, I'm already an artist and all that, I'd probably go with Steven
Steve
Stout.
Stout.
Like he might diversify me a little better.
Right,
But Dame Dash, like straight off the rip, like we gotta go make something happen. Like right now,
right.
it might be Dame Dash.
And I can see that. I can see that energy and that hustle from Dame. Like I definitely see your point where both of them have two sides to where one would be Luke would be a good advantage in one, and one might be a better advantage in the other. Um, Off the interview, and this is what I close with. It's something he said. He said that you can get anything accomplished as long as you don't take credit for it. I
Mm.
thought that was probably the biggest point in the interview with him and Shannon. And they were riding around like they got out, like I said, at Queensbridge. They got out of Brooklyn. They got out in his high school. They went back to his house. Dog, this dude got a trophy case. You would think, okay, so like he was a music exec and he does like advertising. You would think there wouldn't be a trophy case for him. This guy got more trophies than anybody we've mentioned as talked about so far. Like just because he's been a part and a piece of it, right? So like his trophy case of like his awards for doing deals and what he's done is just so crazy. And like like for instance, he had the original G units and the original Jay-Z Reebok shoe in there in like white and gold. Like I was like, who would have ever thought that that would be a cool trophy? But it was because like you could see it.
And that might be the problem with like our community, right? We always got to take credit. We always got to have like I did that versus just like, yo, I was a part of it. We did it. Dustin did this, he did that, and never taking credit. Like, yo, these guys are great, man. These guys are great. But everybody knows, like, yo, we could never do it without him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this would never happen. Like,
But doesn't that builds kind of more your reputation, right? So like if we did business, I know you are a part of that business. I know I never would have met that person without you. The next time somebody says to me, "Yo, how did you get so successful on that commercial?" I'm like, "Well, you need to go talk to Steven Stout because he put us together. I didn't know those people. He's the person that put us together. You need to go talk to him." And now all of a sudden you go talk to him. Now I realize I have a service. I have a relationship service that I can connect you in business with people that you need to be in business with. I can put your product in the right place, but you got to pay me for that. You don't have to tell anybody you paid me for that, but you got to pay me for that. I'll put it together.
there's a story in the Bible about this, right? Moses going to the promised land, right? He hits the rock. He's like, and the water comes out, and he's like, I did that. He takes the credit, right? And that moment doesn't allow him to go into the promised land.
Yeah, he committed that sin. Yeah, and like he was supposed to like just raise the staff edit, but it didn't come out when he thought it was supposed to. And yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's almost like that.
yeah, yeah.
You're taking all this credit, but really, it takes all these people and all this effort to get there. So it's kind of like I don't know. It all depends on the situation. I mean, neither guy is a bad person. It's just
No,
I think Dame
and
Dash got the short end of the stick though in this situation. I think he's a very emotionally connected to it because Jay-Z couldn't get a deal anywhere. So basically, Dame Dash was like, "Yo, I got you. We gonna make our own record label deal." You know what I mean?
yeah,
And now look at Jay-Z. So it's like no Dame Dash,
no Jay Z.
no Jay-Z, no Kanye West, no Cameron.
Right, right. That's true. That's true.
None of these people had their shot, right? None
Yeah.
of them. So you got to give Dame Dash credit. Now, did he get blackballed? Maybe because he was too quote unquote black male, like that alpha black male energy? Maybe.
Well, I think you come to a point like okay, so like you probably can do $10 million deals with Dame Dash aggression, right? You're like, yo, this is what we need. We know we're worth this. This is what it is, right?
I was looking at
But you
$1 billion
can't do
deals.
$100,000 deals, $100 million deals like
Yeah,
that.
$100 million deals.
You can't. You can't come in here. You can't come here and cuss me out and say I look crazy for $100 million. And I think that's the difference between Steve Stout. Steve Stout recognizes the room. He's like, okay, respect, respect, respect. $100 million deal on the table here. $1 billion deal on the table here. Incorporating $2 billion companies together. Let me get a piece of this. Like, or I have vested pieces in
Yeah.
both of these. This is going to make me richer as I am with my portfolio. I don't need any credit for it. I just need to make the deal happen. Like putting your ego and yourself and your character
Right.
aside to make stuff happen. And I think that's the difference. And like me personally, I'd rather, if I had to look at both careers, both of them extremely successful, both are extremely rich, both of them extremely smart. But I would like to be smart enough to know when to remove my ego and my
Mm,
arrogance out of the situation to accomplish something, to get some business done, to make
mm.
more business. And I think that's where I respect. Like I've seen two Steve Stout interviews, and I think that was kind of the premise of both of them from Joe and Shannon. And that's probably who I'd want to work for. Someone like that who knows when to add a piece and remove a piece of himself. Like,
Yeah, if I had to pick one, that'd be tough. I think I can learn from both of them. I have a lot of Dame Dash in me beyond like the hustle
yeah,
part, and
your
then
temper.
another
Yeah,
part of
one
me
hundred percent. Yeah, your
there's
temper.
another part of me that's kind of like,
Your temper. Yeah.
yeah, I don't. But there's another part of me that's like, I don't need the credit for things. Like sometimes I should be taking credit for stuff that I
Yeah.
don't. I just kind of like,
Well, it's also important to know when you need to take credit and when you don't. That's another thing too. Like, I think I'm running into that now, like family business. Like I think I want probably be recognized more than I am. I'm doing quite a bit of stuff, but like, I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
mm,
Speaking of family business, I opened a business. I got an LLC.
ooh,
Yeah, I got an LLC, so that should be interesting. I'll tell you what it is off mic, but yeah, I got an LLC, and hopefully that'll
sick.
it'll be complete. I think next week. The last part I'm in is the business licensing phase, and so I didn't realize how easy it was to open a business, dog. Like,
It's super easy.
it shouldn't have took me this long.
I did it for a month, like
I
which
didn't
is
know. I didn't know it was gonna take me. I didn't know it was gonna be this short. But I was like, okay, this worked.
yeah,
And
it's that fast,
it was
man.
that
And
fast. It cost me a little bit, but I mean, if you got an extra for South Carolina, I'm just gonna say if you have an extra $1,000 and you trying to figure out what you're gonna do with some extra money, and you need to open a business, spend $1,000. I mean, it might not cost you that much. You probably could do it with like personal filing. I just went digital, and it was probably more expensive that way, but it was faster that way, so I didn't care. Open a business.
that's what we do. That's what we do on Thursdays.
Yeah,
Open the business.
man. Just,
Yeah,
just open a business. No big deal.
the business.
Yeah, man. So let's get into I guess the last thing we'll get into, your favorite thing. Get into a little bit
Sport.
of sports. I ain't gonna be long on sports, just a little bit of
Nah,
sports.
it's nothing's crazy going on. Yeah, we'll talk about the Bucks a little bit.
Yeah, let's go there. So Bucks won 6 great games, but then they lost to the Warriors.
They got destroyed by the Warriors. It wasn't just like beat. It
The
was like,
Warriors just got destroyed by the Celtics.
yes. Even though I want to say that was a scheduled loss.
Yeah, I
They
think that
played
was
everybody,
load management.
and Steph Curry went from like 0 for 9, like first half or something like that, and they sat in the rest of the game. So yeah, I think they just needed a rest day, and then like because they're an older team, the Dubs have been doing it for over a decade now. So
Long time.
I think they're just gearing up for playoffs. They're trying to figure out how high in the play-in they can get. If they're lucky, they might get to like a 7 or 8 seed.
Yeah, yeah,
I think they're going to be in the play-in, and
right.
their best bet is to get the 7, 8, so they can have two chances just in case they play the Lakers in the first round to play-in.
Do you think that people are ducking the smoke of the Nuggets on the West?
Absolutely, man.
So I
You
was
kidding?
I was I was looking at this strategy because I saw this come up today on a lot of sport podcasts. So if Denver's 2, you don't want to be 8, right? No, excuse me. If Denver's 2, you don't want to be 7.
You only 7. Right now they're 3, so you don't want to be 6. Right now they're maybe lined up against the Phoenix Suns, and they will sweep them,
Yeah,
100%.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this playoff is gonna be straight come down to health. It's nothing else. Westbrook just got hurt at the Clippers. Um, New York's going to be out first round if nobody comes back in time. Brunson and Randall are both down right now, right?
Yeah,
Um,
and
Embiid, Embiid,
Okanogi or
yeah,
OG.
Embiid's out for the season. The East is looking a little crazy right now.
Yeah, Sixers slid to the play-in, man. They went from third place down to the
You
play-in.
got to
That's
know that was coming though, because like who was there? I mean, don't get me wrong, Maxi. You put the team on Maxi if you want to, but Maxi gets more points when Embiid's on the floor because it allows him to be open. You got to double team or you got to guard somebody, and you might as well try Embiid or you try Maxi, but you can't do both, right? So you know, um, I think the East is real telling. I'll be honest. I'll be if Boston this year doesn't go to the finals. Like, I don't know what other year they had a chance to go. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Milwaukee still, to me, looks weak. I think the real test is them going against the West this next couple of weeks. Right? They have all Western games. They're going
right. That's right. So we're waiting for this week to really judge them.
right because you can't judge. Okay, they beat Minnesota, which was one of the six. That was the one that was kind of surprising. Okay, I didn't expect them to beat Minnesota, but Charlotte, Sixers, a hurt Nick, and somebody else. Now nobody cared about the 5 games after Milwaukee. I just don't think it was a it just wasn't a good
Yeah,
game.
UConn, you don't
Yeah.
think it's real. So I'll
Yeah.
say this. I'll say in the East, my scary teams, my dark horse teams that are going to get like you don't want to see them. Miami Heat.
Boston.
Well, Boston's a given.
Yeah.
They're not like a dark horse. Everybody knows who Boston is, and the Orlando Magic.
Yeah,
I don't think
I heard they're slow creeping. They're slow creep. Like they just kind of stayed under the radar, but they're a young, good team. But I'd
nobody.
never think to look for the Magic. I just wouldn't think to look for them.
They got a bunch of young players playing on contract years, right? Playing for a contract next
Right.
year. They're a long, tall team. The only weakness they have, they're not a good shooting team. However, if they can run and they match up against the right team, if Orlando plays against Boston in the first round, you know what I'm saying? They play against the Milwaukee in the first round.
It's gonna be a tough win.
Boston always struggles against Orlando, man, like because they just match up well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and it forces Boston to get off that 3 point line and play more like in the paint. So it's gonna be interesting. New York, I had high hopes for them, but
They got hurt. I mean, it's just hurt.
without Brunson, without like Julius Randle and OG,
This is
this
gonna sound bad, but I'm gonna tell you who I'm worried about right now to be hurt in the West is Murray. Kyler Murray, or is Kyler Murray from Denver? Who's the guard?
um
Kyle.
not Kyle Murray, Denver, damn, what's his name?
It's right there. It's Murray. I just can't think of his
Yeah,
first
it's
name.
Murray, light skinned dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah. Guard. If he, I think I
Jamal
this
Murray, Jamal
this is
Murray,
Paul. What's his name?
Jamal
Jamal
Murray.
Murray. Yeah. This is the time where when he's gone down. This is the time of the season he's gone down. Right about the last 20 games. Like he usually plays the majority of the season, but the last 20 games though, something tweaks or happens to him. So I don't want to jinx it, but like that's the one I'm waiting to see his health. If his health is good, Denver out the West. Um, do the Lakers have a shot if they can avoid Denver until the Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, because if
I think the Lakers can get back to the Western Conference Finals if they can avoid Denver.
well, I think so. The West for me, the team no one's really talking about. I'm kind of still shocked. Is Oklahoma City Thunder, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
My only problem with Oklahoma City Thunder is that they just don't have any playoff experience. Like I think these boys can beat you one game, but can they beat you? Can they beat you best out of 7? That's the test, right? You don't know because they're so young. Like prime example, the Kings. I think the Kings will go a little bit further this year because they got beat by the Warriors last year. I think the Kings will actually be a good test this year. I mean, whoever plays them, they can still get knocked out first round, but I think the Kings will be a
they're
good test this year because they have playoff experience. I
they're
think
seventh seed right now. So right now, if they played Oklahoma City Thunder, I think the Thunder would probably sweep them. That's
wow.
yeah, that's how good the Thunder are,
Okay.
bro. They're good. They
No.
might have the MVP. Like See, I was saying the same thing last year. I was like the Thunder. That was a buddy of mine. I was like the Thunder, and then once I started watching SGA, yo, SGA is the truth, man.
That's what I hear. I hear he's pretty good.
He is amazing, and they just got a lot of good young talent, man. Like Jalen Williams is good. They got that rookie, the tall dude. I forget his name. They're just a good team, man. They're going to be, and they can run and they can shoot, and they got dogs. Like everybody wants to play on that team. They play unselfish basketball. So,
The only player that we're not attesting for when we're talking about these teams, like let's say OKC, Orlando Magic, let's say we're talking about even Denver to a degree. I'm gonna let Denver go because Denver's looking a little good. But let's say Sacramento. Um, who do we mention? Even Indiana. That's good for those organizations, but is it good for the NBA? And that's the player we're not talking about. The NBA is similar to the NFL. They're going to want the most watched games. Same thing you told me. You said when it came to this NFL playoff, you said, where's it going to be? It's in Vegas. What fans are going to come? 49er fans are going to come there. You said KC fans are going to come there. Sure enough, that's who showed up, right? Don't be wrong. We definitely wanted Detroit and the Ravens because we wanted that was going to be that'd have been a different type Super Bowl. But I think the NBA, more so than the NFL, has a little more control, in my opinion, because I think I've seen the fix before too. They have a little more control as to who's coming to this NBA or who's coming to this championship.
hmm,
And I
interesting
think
point.
I think that Miami and Boston are probably your best bets out the East. I don't know if it's going to go there. I think there's probably a couple more teams that are in there that I'm just thinking about, but like Cleveland, New York, no, that's not doing anything really for the NBA. Like, I mean, look at Cleveland. Like LeBron won a chip there.
Hmm.
Nobody cared. I mean, Cleveland cared, but that wasn't good for the NBA. Like winning in Cleveland, LeBron winning in Miami was good for the NBA. Like in general, like because of where it was, who it was, title town. Won titles before. Like I think a new organization with a title like Denver good because Denver's got a championship pedigree. You got the Broncos with championships. You have now the Nuggets with championships, and I don't know what other Denver team is there professionally, but I think it's one more, and I think they might. I think it might be hockey, but it looks good for it looks good for championships being there. I don't know that OKC winning a championship does anything for the NBA. Now they could win it, but like it's fresh, right? It's brand new. What's it gonna do? Like, honestly, those are Nick colors. Like it's
Right.
kind of
So,
a weird. It's kind of another. It's not necessarily. I don't think it's.
so Denver last year when the NBA. Do you think that did anything for the NBA?
Yes and no. Not as
Or or
not as
was it the best team in the league won?
I would say the best team in the league won. That's what I would say when Denver won.
And they arguably had, you can say, the MVP on their team as
They
well,
had the
right?
best player. They still got the MVP on their team. Like, let's be real. Were you joking? If you, that's the difference between I think the rest of the teams and him. If he says I'm gonna win the game today, if he gets mad, if you piss him off, he gets a bad call, and you see that look in his eye, like when he gets bad at and like goes talks tough to somebody and then walks off, and then goes does what he does on the court. That's the difference between him and some of the other guys. I've seen it. I've seen him hit that switch, and
No,
so
Denver's legit, man.
Denver's legit.
They're legit. To me, they're still the favorite out of the West.
But you know what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, does
No,
OKC winning the championship do anything for the NBA?
I think it could, man, because like they're such a young team, and what happens if they are the next team that goes and win 5 or 6 championships in a row, or maybe they're the next Dubs? You know, nobody was talking about Golden State until they won back to back.
That's true.
So I think any market can become a face of a league. And it just so happened Golden State had a guy that revolutionized the game now, like with the 3 pointer. But now you
But
got SGA.
but see, Curry got his credit later, right? So like that second championship looks different because KD's there, right? KD gets that second championship. It's like, oh, KD's there, big superstar. I think KD was a bigger superstar than Curry was when he won the championship. In my
Mm,
opinion,
okay.
KD was on the
He
verge.
was definitely regarded as a
Yeah,
higher ranked player for
KD
sure.
was a higher ranked caliber player when Curry won the championship, and I think when KD got to the Golden State Warriors, he was number two, right? It was LeBron and KD. I think at that point, like we could argue that, but like I would say it was LeBron, KD, Curry, right? Then maybe you might go. You could even make an argument that Kyrie might have been 4 or could have been 3, and you could interchange Kyrie and Curry at the point, or at the as far as like the top players like in that playoff series, right? So like,
You make that argument.
but what I'm saying, I guess, is like, and I guess we keep bringing up markets. I just don't know that OKC market does anything winning this chip. Now, again, power to them. They might be the best team. Like I think between, probably example Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota winning does anything for the NBA. Like I mean, I think they got a good team. They're ranked number 1 right now, but
For them, it's going to come down to Anthony Edwards. Is he going to decide to be actually like serious and like be the dog he can be, or is he going to just like play lackadaisical and like kind of
it's
shoot left-handed? You know what I mean? Like
it's gonna be
that.
it's gonna be
That
interesting.
yeah, that's what it comes down for me for them. But I think OKC. I think this Thunder can be a marquee
Okay,
pedigree team. I really do.
okay,
I really believe that
all right.
they just have the right makeup. To me, they remind me of like a young Warriors team, right on the cusp of like because you got to remember the Warriors kept running into the Clippers. They couldn't beat the Clippers. I mean, where Mark Jackson's the coach, and then they finally broke the ice, and then became, in 2015 they won. Then they lost the next year, and they ended up getting KD, won 2 more. Then they took like a year or 2 off, and then Steph finally went and won
He
it
was
on
by
his
himself.
own.
Yep.
Like, well, he won the other. This is the
The,
one he
the,
performed at the Steph Curry level that we wanted to see
right.
him at.
Right.
He didn't do that in 2015. He was
He.
kind of like
I don't know.
Andre Iguodala won it. You know what
I
I mean?
don't know if he could have beat the Raptors by himself because he didn't get there by himself. But
Yeah, not with Clay and because Clay and actually,
KD
if
were
he
gone.
had Clay, they probably still had a chance. But once Clay went down, it was over.
Right. Right. It'd have been tougher with Clay for sure.
So
Um.
technically, they could have had 3 in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could have had three.
You know. So I've been kind of rattling this thought in my brain for a long time, and I don't know what. Maybe you know more. What's KD's contract looking like at Phoenix?
Hmm. It's probably he's probably in the like upper 40 millions.
Should the Warriors trade Draymond and Clay to the Suns to get KD back at the Warriors so KD can get a ring, can get a
He's
last?
getting 48. He's getting 48 million. Oh no, I don't think that's a smart move.
Why is that not a smart move?
I
Those,
think
those two have won it before together.
because the to, Draymond Green unlocked Steph Curry, not Kevin Durant.
Should they try to get rid of Clay and somebody else? I'd get maybe Andrew Wiggins and Clay for KD to get KD back on the team and tell Draymond to figure out his beef with KD.
Um,
KD's not gonna win at Phoenix, dog. It's not. It's not happening.
he ain't gonna win anywhere
No,
without.
no. He needs another piece. And the piece he had, should he just go back to the Warriors? Like, why not end his career at the Warriors? Like, why not? You got two
Yeah,
there. Like,
yeah,
I don't see the point. I don't see the point in him keep trying to get talent. Go back to the Warriors, KD.
Kevin Durant is the greatest. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. This is a statement. I'm gonna say he's the greatest number 2 on any team.
Yeah,
He's not the alpha though. He's not the.
he's the
He's not
talent.
the guy. Yeah, he's the talent
He's the
that you
talent.
set up. And on the Warriors, he was the perfect.
He
It
should
was a
go. I
perfect
think he
blend.
should go back. I think
It's
the
it's impossible to go back, bro. If
why?
he goes back, basically, this is what you're saying. Him going back is saying his career, he could never be the man on the team and win. He had to go to another person's team to win.
What difference does that make if he gets another ring?
It's going to affect his legacy because
Who cares?
it matters to him
I don't
though.
think he cares. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think he cares. And I think he's coming to
I
that. I think he's getting to that age where he realizes his John. He can't keep doing what he does at a clip rate and nobody else returns. Like Booker's too inconsistent. Bradley's too inconsistent. Get away from Phoenix. Phoenix. I love Phoenix. I love living there. I love the desert.
they haven't even
It's
played.
a losing town in basketball. They're
Bro,
losers. They're
but wait,
losers.
but wait. Kevin Durant hasn't even had a full year with them yet, man. It's very so. This is my problem with basketball right now.
Go ahead.
Too many moving pieces, and everybody's expecting just because LeBron's on his team or Kevin Durant's on his team, like the Brooklyn Nets, and you put all these superstars together that they're just going to gel and everything's going to be great. Now KD, he can play without the ball. He can play on the ball. He can play however he want. James Harden can't play without the ball. Kyrie Irving struggles to play without the ball. LeBron James, up until now, struggled without playing with the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like you
It's
just can't. The whole Warriors thing when he came there and it worked. That only worked because Steph, Clay, and Draymond and Andre, and they had a system, and then KD came in and they plugged them in the system.
and that's what I'm saying. I think that they know what that. I think that pedigree works for him. So why not go back to where it worked? No
Because
one.
it's like, yo, I broke up with this girl and I had everything, and I went to go date these other girls, and they looked better, but at the end of the day, they wasn't, you know what I mean? They wasn't making my home a home. And now it's like, damn, I'm salty. I got to crawl back to the Warriors with my tail between my legs and be like, can you please have me back? Hell no.
My thing
He
is
can't
this:
go back.
when the Warrior GM or whoever does their trades was talking to for LeBron, I think that was the wrong person to talk for. Go talk for KD. KD is more likely to move. KD doesn't mind moving.
You go get LeBron
No.
because LeBron's a better facilitator. Yes. You want to feed Steph Curry the ball.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't think so let me ask you this much. If KD and Steph Curry are scoring 60 points a night, which is basically what they were doing all those seasons. Like they won the most games of all time. They won 73 games together. 73
No,
games.
no, no. They did that without KD.
Yes, they did. They did that the season before and then lost to the
You see,
Cavs.
you see my
That's
point.
why that's why I think that's why I think this shit
You
was
see my
rigged.
point.
That's why I
They,
think this shit
that's
was
why
rigged.
Draymond was like, yo, nigga, we don't need you.
Yeah, but
And they didn't need him.
guess what? It does it I think okay, here's the thing. If KD does want another chip, the Warriors is the only place he's going to get that chip. That's what I'm going to say. I don't care. You can put whatever super team you want around him.
He can win with Jokic. He can win on any team that doesn't establish.
Let me ask you this much. Let me ask you, why would Denver get rid of anybody for KD? Who would you
They,
get rid of? You'd have to get rid of. You'd have to get
Michael
rid of
Porter
Jamal Murray. You'd have to get
Jr.
rid of. You probably have to get rid of Gordon and Jamal Murray just to get KD.
Yeah, they have to get rid of Aaron Gordon, probably Porter, and maybe one other piece.
I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. And I'll be honest with you. If I'm Denver, I'm the one. Like Denver's the house. You know, you can bet against the house if you want to. The house always wins.
This is how KD wins his championship. You ready? He after this contract's done,
Yeah.
he's going to take a very, very, very like team friendly contract, and he's strictly there to win a chip. It's either going to be like Miami. He can probably do it with the Warriors, but I don't think he'll go there. Depending on where LeBron goes, and then like maybe Denver. He may even like I could see him like really balling out in the Sixers with Embiid. Like him and Embiid would be a good combination,
Here's
but he would never come to the Sixers.
Here's why I say that Phoenix is the perfect team for that because Phoenix never stays this high at budget for so long. They're the trade team. You trade your high value players or your low value players to Phoenix so they can get back on their budget because Phoenix is never going to win anything. They tried it. They had. I was even looking at that year they went to the finals and the Bucks won. That was a hurt West. That's the only reason why Phoenix got there. The Phoenix wasn't the best team that year. It was just a hurt West. That's just a hurt West. Like they're not gonna get there this year. Like
Probably not. They don't
you
got no
are
bench.
you already out West. He might as well stay in the Western market. He's thrived more in the Western market. He's ever thrived in the East market, right? So KD might as well just go back even to the Warriors. He can go back, OKC after this year. He would be welcome. OKC might not be a bad fit for him, but I don't know why they would do that. You got Rising Star there. You don't need to add another star there. Just diminish the star you got. So, versus the Warriors are a very adaptable team. Like I think that would be his best fit in success. And Curry wants one more too. Like you just put Curry at 5 and you at 3. That's all it would do.
I agree with you. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening.
They got they got money freed up. Either Draymond's gonna retire this year if they don't win anything, or he's going somewhere. Clay is gone. Clay's out of there. I'm not gonna front. If I'm the Warriors GM, I'm getting rid of Andrew Wiggins. I'm sorry you got baby mama drama, but you gotta get out of here, dog. I don't care. It's professional time. Be a professional athlete. Figure out your home life when you get home.
So those are free agents. So you would have to do a sign, like they're going to be free agents at the end of the year. So
That means you got the money for it. You pay the money. Pay the money. Eat the contract, give him some more money. Get KD, get some more new talent. You know, I'm just saying. That's my personal opinion. We can get off of
Okay.
it.
Yeah. We'll continue that one. That's a good.
In bigger news, the city of Philly loses one of their sons. Jason Kelsey retired. The center that got you the chip. The one, the pro, the
Done.
half of the Kelsey brothers. He is
He's gone.
retired. Yo, man, what's the temperature of the city up there, man? Your shining star is out.
I think it was time.
Yeah, it was time. You know what I think got him? The tush push. I every time we talked about the tush push this year in any interview, he was like, "It hurts. I don't know why you'd want to do it. I happen to be the size that can able to do it." It's almost like it was forced on him, and he didn't like it. And I think the tush push, pushed him out of. I'm not gonna say that's the main reason. I think he was his time, but I think that that play for some reason was a problem.
Yeah. And then everybody was trying to stop it, and you're basically like crowning into people. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
and don't get me wrong, like I get it. Like 1 yard, 4th and 1, tush push. I got it. I
And he's
guarantee.
one of the smallest centers in the league. He's like very undersized for his position.
And he was one of the most effective. He changed. I think he's changed. I don't think they're going to say it necessarily directly relates to him, but his mobility, his speed, and his
Oh,
ability to
absolutely.
cover has probably changed that position in professional football.
Yeah, he's
So
one of the few centers you can pull. He would snap it and pull off the line. And Jason Kelsey was great, man. It's just a shame he has, Father Time will catch up with you, but that's what Philly does. We hold on to these people way too long. But he was still effective. I can't even front like he wasn't effective. He was actually effective.
I just could see it. I'm not gonna front. I could see him winning one with his brother. I don't think he's done.
He's done, bro. 100%. He's done, bro.
Nope. Nope.
Them guys are so competitive.
Nope. And here's why I say that. So you know how like players get called up like out of retirement, like they're like, oh, you want to come off the bench? You know, we had a spot for you if you want to come off the bench, if you want to play, if you want to play. Kansas City get to the playoffs and they can call somebody off the bench, and it happens to be an offensive lineman. Travis goes, yo, call my brother. Call my what? Why would you plug your brother? This
I think,
Travis, I'll do this for you this one time. We go to the playoffs. We get
he,
to the playoffs. We
bro,
go.
he bleeds. I don't think you understand. You don't. I hear you. I hear you through your gut. I
I,
don't think you understand
I don't
Jason
think he's
Kelsey.
done. I don't think he's done.
He's 100% done, bro.
I think these three. I think these three rings. I think it's gonna be. I think okay. I think it's gonna be a call up. It's kind of gonna be like
Ladies and gentlemen, my cousin does. He doesn't understand Philadelphia pride. I'm telling you right now, bro. He ain't coming back out.
I
He's
think
gangrene all the
I
way.
think he'd come back out for the right person. You don't
If
think
the
Jason Kelsey
Eagles,
would do anything for Travis Kelsey?
no, I don't. I
You don't think he'll
think
do
his loyalty
anything?
is no. His loyalty is to the Philadelphia Eagles, bro. Believe me.
I think his loyalty is to that brand. I think his loyalty is to the Kelsey brand.
That just became a thing because of Taylor Swift. That ain't real, bro. That ain't real.
No, 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 no,
Did you
no, no.
see? Hold on. Did you hear the story about Jason Kelsey's wife at the Super Bowl?
No, what happened?
They try to hand her a Kansas City jersey.
Oh yeah, she wasn't putting no red on. She had all
Dude,
green on.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's how Philly fans are. I'm trying to tell you. If Brian Dawkins never got traded to the Denver Broncos, he would have been the same way. He would have retired here and went nowhere else. Eagle players are different, man. I'm telling you.
It's here first. I think if the Kansas City
Okay.
Chiefs go to the playoffs next year and
Okay.
they need an offensive lineman and that brother is available and he turns to Big Red and says, "You want me to call my brother?" And he says, "Yeah." Does he want to come? And his brother's still in shape and still be able to perform at that level, which I think he probably is still a professional offensive lineman right now.
It's a possibility.
I think
But
I
I
think
just
for
don't.
the brand, two brothers, same team, one more ring, that does something for them. That listen, if he sacrifices that Philly pride, what you said for this storyline, they are out of here when Travis retires. Okay, You won't see another football game without the Kelsey brothers doing the whole game. I promise you. I promise you. When Travis retires, if they win a chip together, that storyline is out of there.
Like 13 years at center, man. Drafted in 2011.
Right. So he needs
He's
a
thirty-six.
he needs 13 weeks off so he can play the last 6 and win a chip with his brother. That's all I'm saying. I'm just look, he might not even get in the game. He might just be on the team. I'm just
Okay, I mean, does that even count though? He's just on the team just to get some clout. What were the first
yes,
time
because
two brothers in the
you put
Super
him
Bowl?
in at the Super Bowl. Yes. And I don't care if it counts. You know what it is? It's all about perception. They're selling the
No,
brand. I'm
really.
telling.
I don't want that
Listen.
clout. That's what the NFL doesn't need.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the brand. I'm talking about the brothers. Also, you know what another thing too is? Those two are selling to a different market than just the NFL. And that's just where I'm at. They're selling to a different market than NFL. They've got a Fireball endorsement. They got another endorsement. I don't know the other one. Watch the pod one time, and you will understand where I get where I'm coming from. Watch the full podcast of them one time, and
It's a possibility, but
you tell me that Jason Kelsey wouldn't sacrifice for Travis to make this brand go crazy. They would be, listen, it's different money after this story happens. If the Kelsey brothers win a Super Bowl together, they are okay. They're flirting with 100 million, but with both of them just now, probably after Travis retires. We talking about quarter to half a billion after this. The story's there. You want the Super Bowl brothers or do you want the Super Bowl champ? You want the Super Bowl brother champs. Super Bowl brothers. Listen how that sounds. Nobody's ever said Super Bowl brothers, Super Bowl brothers, Super Bowl brothers. Like I'm telling you, that just sounds good. That's a story. Steven Stout is all over that.
thinking out loud, y'all. He's thinking out loud. I love it.
Steven Stout's all over that. I'm gonna put you guys with everybody.
Possibility. I feel like it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, well,
Just knowing who Travis or Jason Kelsey is in Philadelphia.
I'm not gonna go too much crazier. I don't have much more than that. What you got? Anything else?
That's good, man. I think
Listen,
that's it.
man, we're gonna call a wrap. Sorry for the technical difficulties on this one. We'll chop it up, whatever. Put the videos out, but we're out. Peace.
Peace.